Welcome to another episode of Bubba's Tango 18. I'm Bubba, and this is our build. As you can see, we have arrived at a glorious point in time. Another phase of this project is about to begin. We have flipped over the boat, and it is back inside, and we are going to get going on some sanding, some grinding, some cutting, and we're going to get this bottom ready to have some epoxy filler, glassed and faired out, painted, do everything, flip it back over, and finish the inside. That's the game plan. We're going to start knocking this out right now. First and foremost, what's right in front of our faces, other than the transom, is the sponson. So what I think I'm going to do first is obviously I'm going to cut off the old zip ties. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my trimmers and take off all this excess fiberglass 1208 that's left over. I've made a couple of lines here on the covers for the sponsons in which I'm going to trim off the sponson flush with the bottom of the boat, and then I guess we can start filling. I've got a little bit of sanding to do, well, probably a lot of bit of sanding, but I got some sanding to do right on the bottom of the keel and on some of the joints and some of the areas where the thickened epoxy came through. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding here because this is a little too rough to hit with sandpaper. I want to take that down even on both sides, and then I guess we're going to mix up some thickened epoxy and start filling in all the chines on both sides. We're going to fill in the keel. Sand the whole thing, skim coat, sand it, fiberglass it. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is get rid of these old zip ties. So for the next process, I'm going to use 3 tools. I've got a new sander that I've used in previous videos, but this one's getting beat up, and I've got lots of 60 grit for it, so I'll do that. This is, oh man, this was the best tool. Now I forgot the name of it, what it does. It's a, an oscillating, one of those oscillating power tools. Great for cutting off the hardened glass. And then of course, my venerable Amazon purchase. Yes, the Genesis. I need to blow that out, don't I? So here I'm pulling out one of the best tools in the arsenal, the oscillating tooth tool. It's excellent for this process of trimming off excess hardened glass off the edges. It'll cut through thin plywood as well, and it just does a really good job of getting into these tight corners where you don't necessarily want to. Yeah, it does create dust, but you don't necessarily want to put those fibers into the air with using a grinder or a sander. So here you can see I'm just trimming off all the excess of the glass that was left over for the 1208 that we glassed the stern with prior to the flip. Now here we are in that same situation, getting up into a really tight corner. The blade, if you notice, is like the shape of a moon or a hemisphere. It's a 180 degree cutting, so you can cut on the side, you can cut on the, as I'm displaying there, you can cut on the tip, you can cut, anywhere around that blade has teeth on it to be able to cut. And as you can see, I'm going through hardened epoxy resin. I'm really just knocking down some hard edges that may get into a belt sander or a oscillating sanding pad and just really chew it up. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some really great tools out there, and another one which I don't own, which I'd like to have, is the belt sander that's on a long sort of like wand, and the belt's like an inch wide, really get into those tight spots. So this is just just trimming off, getting rid of all that stuff is just a great tool. No, I can't say enough about it. Alright, so we've changed views a little bit, and you can see that little pencil mark I've put there along the underside stern of the sponson. This is the area that we lengthened to get the new length of the Tango 18. And again, I'm using the oscillating multi-tool to cut along that pencil line, and we're cutting through this 2 mil, 4 mil okume that has been painted on the inside and the bottom. That was pre-painted. Has a layer of 1208 glass with epoxy on top of it, as well as Total Boat's fairing compound, a layer on top of that. So I went ahead and cut this off flush with the bottom of the boat. We're going to fill that in with the epoxy, thickened epoxy. Do the same thing on the other side. We'll go ahead and get the sander. We'll put a sand on this with some 60 grit. Many a millennium ago, it feels like, I created these jigsaw pattern because I wanted to extend out. This is what I extended out the back of the boat. So I'm going to skim coat and fill in this entire, basically the whole bottom of the boat, but what's going on?
You turned it over.
I did this weekend.
How did you do that? engineering, skill, patience.
No shit.
My truck and that engine hoist. Picked it up and built the cradle, the roller and cradle on top of it before I flipped it over. Built it inside the boat, took it out there, rolled it over into the grass, pulled my truck over there, held it with the truck, and then just gently moved it over and then used that as a catch to catch it, to let it down easy. And then pulled it out here today. And
wow.
Yep, the next phase. Alright, I'm just going to continue around the boat. All this thickened epoxy that came out from when we did the inside, all the fillets. I'm just going to go ahead and try and keep my belt sander as flat on here as possible. Take down these ridges and hopefully not chew it up. It's actually working pretty good. Thought I could move more material, remove more material and keep it flatter with that, which may not make a difference, but that is a 30 grit belt and this is just 60. So this is my trash disc, if you will. So I'm gonna do this a little bit more. Alright, we'll switch over. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Quick. Very quick. Flip to the other side. Yeah, there we go. Nothing sticking up high. Took it down enough to skim coat of thickened epoxy. All right, let's keep moving around the boat. All right, so first I'm going to hit this. Take it down, take all this stuff that oozed through all the holes, take it down. I'm gonna use probably pull out an actual grinder and grind some of this down. I think it'll just chew up my sanding disc, even the crappy one. Maybe not. Nice. Let's do this. All right, that works pretty good. Huh. Yeah, that does work pretty good. think you call this the all-in-one belt sanding tool. This with 36 grit, wow, just chomps through this. That's great. Get some shape back in there. This little hump out of here. Let's find the best way. Wow. Would you look at that? That's actually pretty amazing for what it was. I mean, just the ability for that to have the really thin front like that, to use it in other means than what it was created for, I'm sure. But all right, well, I think that actually looks pretty good. I mean, skim coat that, fill in that void, skim coat. Alright, so I'm just going to take down this high stuff. I'm going to go ahead and just continue down the bow right here and at least bring the edges out. Probably do like I did up here and devour out the middle a little bit so I can have something to bite onto. But yeah, this looks pretty good. And that's all I got to say about that. Zoom in on that a little bit and see exactly what I did. Pretty cool, huh? I think so.